Hello, everyone. I'm Jasminne Mendez, and I am a WITS writer, poet, educator, a mother to a beautiful little girl. I live here in Houston, and I'm here to share with you all some poems and a writing prompt for Quick Wits. Poetry is the title of mine, and if you'll notice that play on words, poetry, because our focus is on trees today. So the poems that I'll be sharing to you are two short poems, Lemon Tree by Jennifer Clement and I Am a Peach Tree by Pancho Erantes. Let's get started. Lemon Tree by Jennifer Clement. If you climb a lemon tree, feel the bark under your knees and feet. Smell the white flowers, rub the leaves in your hands. Remember, the tree is older than you are, and you might find stories in its branches. So, what did you notice? I know one of the first things that I noticed when I read this poem are the sensory details. And what are the senses? Our five senses. We can see, we can smell, we can taste, we can hear, we can touch. And in this poem, we have all of those more or less, right? We have feel the bark, smell the white flowers, rub the leaves in your hands. Those are very vivid sensory details. Also, you might have noticed, this isn't maybe something that you've talked about in school, but it's kind of fun to learn and to notice about a poem, is that it's written in second person point of view, which means that the speaker in the poem is speaking directly to you. So the use of you to address the speaker. So if you climb in your hands, you might find. So that's a very specific writing technique that writers often use to make it feel like the poem, the speaker in the poem is speaking directly to you, the reader. So it might be something fun to try. We also notice that it's one stanza, so it's short, and it has short lines, all right? So just kind of some things to consider, because when you write, you might want to say, oh, I want to just have one stanza, which means it's just one block, one paragraph, one group of lines, and the lines are short, so it's compact, right? We can take a look at it again if you want. You see there's short lines, only one long one there in that third to last line, and it's all one stanza. Let's go ahead and read our next poem. I Am a Peach Tree by Pancho Hernandez. I am a peach tree. I used to be little. The sheep used to eat my leaves. I had a very hard time growing up because the sheep would come so often to see me. Now the boys bother me. They keep cutting my trunk and my branches. They shake down my flowers when I produce fruits. They don't wait for them to ripen. They just eat them green. That's how they bother me. Since I grew up alone, all my companions around me seem different. When the wind blows hard, my flowers and little fruits are blown away. But the rain cares for me, so I will grow. So what did you notice about this poem? Aside from the fact that I think the boys are kind of bullies to the tree, don't you think? It's not very nice. Well, it's a persona poem for starters, which means that the poem is written in the voice of the tree. The tree is speaking. Now, I know that may seem kind of silly, but it could be really fun to pretend, right, that you're the tree, right? And how would the tree feel? Because I think the trees can have feelings, yeah, especially if someone's not being very nice. And you know, trees die if you don't water them, and it's nice to water them and to take care of them so that they grow and that their fruits blossom and mature for us, right? So it's a persona poem. It's what we call a poem that's written in a voice that's different than yours, in a different voice that's not necessarily the writer, or like a voice in the voice of an object. There are active verbs. So it didn't just say, my leaves move. Move is kind of a boring verb. But it says there's cutting, there's shake, there's produce, lots of fun active verbs of how the tree moves or gets moved by others. This poem, unlike the last one, is written in first person point of view. So again, because it's a persona poem and the tree is speaking, the tree says, I am a peach tree. I produce fruits. So the pronoun there is used is I, unlike in lemon tree, it's you. So kind of notice the difference, and you can maybe play with that when you write your own poem. Also, we have many strong images, but one of the ones that really sticks out to me is when the wind blows hard, my flowers are blown away. So I can really see that image, right? There's a description of the wind and the fruits and the flowers being blown away. So thinking about using strong images in your own poem. And this poem, unlike the lemon tree, has 4 stanzas. If we count that last line as a stanza, we've got 4 full stanzas here in this poem. So again, the difference in length, that's a choice. Do you want a short poem? And what effect does that have versus a longer poem? All right. So before I send you off to write, I have a challenge because I don't want you to write just about any kind of tree or about kind of like a normal fruit tree. Although those might be fun to write about. You can choose to do that if you want. But I want you to take a look at this painting here. And this painting, as you can see behind me, is the one that I have in my house. I took a picture of it and I'm sharing it with you because I love to share this painting because it's kind of a fun looking tree. It doesn't look maybe like a normal tree. So I always challenge my students to look at this tree and say, what kind of tree do you think this is? Again, it's not a normal tree. It's not an apple tree. It's not a lemon tree. It's not a peach tree. This can be any kind of tree you want it to be. So what do you think? I've had some great answers to this before. So some of the ones that I really love include, oh, I'll go back. A bubblegum tree. A Skittles tree. Oh my gosh, could you imagine if you had a Skittles tree in your backyard? Maybe your mom and dad wouldn't like it because it's a lot of sugar, but that's kind of fun. Or a bubblegum tree. A friendship tree, if you want to be abstract, right? Maybe this is a beautiful friendship tree and that's what all the leaves are, all the different friends that you could make. Or maybe all the friends that you're missing right now, yeah? Or it could be a diamond tree. It looks kind of like the leaves are shaped kind of like diamonds. Could you imagine? I bet some of your moms and dads would like to have a diamond tree in the backyard. Yeah. A unicorn tree. I get this one a lot. Folks really think that this could be a unicorn tree and what would happen if you had a unicorn tree or if you could grow a unicorn tree. Oh my goodness. A hope tree. I know some of us all might feel like we need some hope right now. And maybe this is the tree that when we look at it or we sit under it, it just gives us hope. And the leaves are leaves of love and kindness, or they're leaves of all the things that we love that give us hope. Yeah, that's a thought. Or maybe it's a gumball tree. I'm sure I already said that, kind of like bubble gum, gumball, right? And so this tree can be any kind of tree that you want it to be. So as you go forward and you start to write, I want you to consider the image of this tree, or maybe you have a different tree that you look at that's kind of fun and fantastical. And so what kind of tree is that? Choose what kind of tree you want to write about. There's no wrong answer. It can be anything: money, gum, candy, Fruit Loops, Skittles, chocolate, unicorns, dragons, Pokemon, whatever you want, any kind of tree you want. And then you're going to choose one of these prompts. You're going to choose one of these exercises to try. Or if you have time, you can do all 3. All right. So you need to either, 1, write a poem that begins like our lemon tree poem. So if you climb a unicorn tree, then use sensory details to describe what you might see, hear, smell, taste, and feel in this unicorn tree or in this Skittles tree. Yeah. Or 2, you can write a persona poem in the voice of the tree that you choose. So using active verbs for what your tree experiences every day. So for example, what would a bubblegum tree experience every day? Or what would a unicorn tree say? Again, you have to speak as if you are that tree. So you have to use I. I do this, I do that, I feel this, I hear this, or maybe somebody's not nice to you as this tree, or maybe everybody loves you and comes and like takes all your Skittles, you decide. Or finally, write a poem that describes any kind of magical, weird, or out of this world tree, and be sure to describe what it looks like, what its colors are, if it's tall, if it's big, if it's fat, how it grows. In our peach tree poem, we heard that the rain cares for the peach tree. Well, what is it that cares for a chocolate tree or a Fruit Loops tree or a dragon tree? right? So think about all of those things and have fun with your writing. So again, you're writing a poem about a tree, and it's our poetry lesson. So ready, set, write. Happy writing. And please check out more quick wits on our social media. At Facebook, we are at Writers in the Schools. At Twitter, we're at WITS Houston. And our website is witshouston.org. I've had a lot of fun sharing this lesson with you all, and I hope you all have a lot of fun writing about it. Take care. Bye-bye.